Now, this afternoon, speaking of tech, Apple is set to hold its biggest product event of the year. It will unveil the new iPhone 17 lineup and other devices. Joining us live from that event in Cupertino, California, is Bloomberg Tech co-host Ed Ludlow. Ed, what are you expecting for today?
Yeah, you're right to frame it as the biggest event of the year, because the frank reality is that iPhone still accounts for more than 50% of revenue. And as Matt alluded to earlier in the program, in this generation of iPhone 17, according to Bloomberg's reporting, we're likely to get something major in terms of a refresh or development, and that is the iPhone 17 Air, an ultra-thin phone, 5.5 millimeters of thickness, according to our reporting. Important in the context of competition because Samsung came out with the S25 Galaxy Edge this summer. But depending on when these latest generation handsets go on sale, we're currently in the fiscal fourth quarter. It's all about the timing around the holiday season. And for all the political noise around tariffs and Tim Cook's relationship with the president, this is the bread and butter, and it's why it matters. The iPhone 17 range more generally, Pro and Pro Max at the high-end base model, improvements to camera, custom silicon, updated generation of processor, and battery life, all of these things matter. And as you guys know, often this is a sell the news kind of event for the stock. But look 30 or 60 days out. And if it's a success and it resonates with consumers, often that carries a longer-term rally for the stock as well.
All right, so what do we know about the main product, the phone? What are we going to see? I saw the phrase awe-dropping, which doesn't make any sense at all, right? It's either awesome or jaw-dropping, but I love the portmanteau.
Jaw-dropping.
What's going to be in the iPhone 17?
So on the sort of more negative side, Mark Gurman's reporting at Bloomberg on the 17 Air is that to get that ultra-thin phone, whether it resonates with consumers or not, you sacrifice battery life, have a more basic camera, and it has an A19 processor on it, not the highest end or cutting-edge processor. On the Pro and Pro Max side, innovation in camera technology. This is something that is very important to track because it is something that resonates with the consumer, with the developer, and then A19 Pro processor, custom silicon, and performance comes into it. What's missing, of course, and I think that's kind of at the root of your question as well, is like, will we hear anything about artificial intelligence based on what we heard at WWDC with Apple Intelligence and Mark's reporting on a revamped Siri? Probably not until the spring. So the features at the higher end of these phones are important. Then there's the issue of tariffs and pricing.
Ed, you teased this last time we talked to you, but perhaps the last time Apple shares actually moved when it came to announcement was at WWDC, when it came to an AI announcement. How much did these product launches really matter for share prices?
Yeah, you know, we debate on Bloomberg Television all the time, like, does the tick by tick really matter? There was a moment at WWDC where essentially executives said, we will have more to say about Apple Intelligence and Siri later, next year, and the stock took a market leg lower. This data that we're showing on the screen is critically important. It's inspired by research from Bank of America, which shows essentially on the day itself, often Apple shares sell off. It is a sell the news event, as we discussed. But when a handset generation does resonate and does well, particularly in that holiday quarter, 30 days post-event, 60 days post-event, you do tend to see a positive reaction in the shares. Dan Curtis on our terminal team put this chart together custom because the left-hand column 2 months before is more interesting. Actually, all of the enthusiasm and excitement going into the event often results in outperformance of the stock prior to announcement of the handset. That's how high the bar is. So it actually takes quite a lot in the features to move the needle in the stock. But again, there are some big macro supply chain and political questions that we'll try to answer along the way as well.
And of course, we're all just excited to see the tech, all of us who live in this Apple ecosystem. Ed Ludlow out in Cupertino is going to be there to show it to all of us from Bloomberg Tech. That kicks off at 11, and he'll be reporting from Cupertino at this awe-dropping event all day long.